Here's something I see a lot of people asking for help with. How do I remove backgrounds out of photos like this? How do I change the background? How do I just get the white part? What font are they using? I don't know. So I'm going to tackle this with the easiest method I can think of. There are quite a few ways to redo this. We could find the font. If the original creator kept their stuff and knows what they did, we could recreate it from scratch and then have really endless options as far as resolution and other things like that. Another thing we could do is trace this with paths and create this into a vector layer, which could be endlessly resized without any resolution issues. This part will be a little bit trickier, but it could be drawn with paths. It will just take a lot longer. But a better way of doing things is just by finding the white part, selecting it, and moving it to a top layer. At that point, we can do mostly anything we want. There are some restrictions to the resolution. If we want to double size this or print this on a ginormous banner, we could use AI upscaling, which is what I did. I used Topaz to upscale it to 4K, and it looked great. I'll show you how that works in a minute. But let's get started. So in Photoshop, there are a number of selection tools. They're all in the select menu. You can select based off color, focus area, subject, or sky. And there's some other ways to select things too, such as brushing and automatic selection, things like that. But I'm going to use color range because I know that obviously the foreground, which is this circle and these letters, are white. And nothing else is solid white except for this cloud down here, but that's super easy to erase because it's not going behind our letters. So here I am in the color range, and I'm just going to click on white, although it was already default selected. And here we have a fuzziness. So if our fuzziness is at 0, it's really just strict, right? It's very strict, very black and white, pun intended. If we increase our fuzziness, look at that, it starts selecting more sky. By the way, you can do your selection preview by doing grayscale. This will actually show you on your screen what is selected. So if I do, I like grayscale. White is what is selected, black is not selected. So as you see, we lower our fuzziness. It shows us, hey, the white stuff is still selected. We got letters. That's great. Well, that's really all we need right there. Problem solved. We just need to erase some of these clouds. But I'm going to go down to where it's very, very picky. Oh, don't go too low because look, now the JPEG artifacts of low quality imaging are coming into play. And Photoshop is having some hard time. So maybe go up a little bit. Let's go up here where it's a little bit more generous, but I don't want anything behind the letters. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm right around 100. I'm going to click OK. And nothing happened. Well, we have these little marching ants. That is the selection that it just created for us. And we can do a lot of stuff with this selection. But what I really want to do is move this to a top layer. So I'm going to create a new layer in the layer panel by clicking create new layer. There's nothing in this layer, obviously. We haven't done anything to it. So I'm going to press G, which gives us the paint bucket. Make sure you've got the paint bucket tool selected. Make sure your foreground color is pure white and just click inside there. There we go. You still can't see much of what happened because there was already white there, but we just colored in or filled in the selection with the white color. Let's hide our bottom layer by clicking the eyeball there in the layer panel. Make the background go away. And here we go. This is the stuff we just created, a top layer of nothing but white that fills in perfectly all the little gaps. So this is probably giving you a headache. So let's add a background just so we can see things better. Black. There we go. Okay, so we got black. We can make this any color we wanted. We could just grab something. There we go. So this is what we got. Now let's clean it up a little bit. If we go to click on our top layer with the white pixels that we just created from the selection, we can use eraser or we can use a selection tool. I'm going to use a square one. It's a little bit better for this. And go right above our graphic and just hit delete to delete that stuff. You can use the eraser tool as well. Delete. Make sure you don't delete any of the letter pixels. Delete. Let's grab right up next to it. Delete. Anything else? Delete. Okay. So now, as far as I know, the only thing on this top layer is just what we want, just this stuff. So what we can do at this point is a few things. We can hide everything and we can save this as a PNG. A PNG is a high quality image format. It's better than JPEG, but it has alpha, which means you can have a no background image. You can have empty spots and transparency in a PNG file. So that's great. So to do that, File, Save a Copy, name it, of course, and I would probably add the word alpha on the end, just so I know, oh yeah, this one has alpha. Go down and select PNG, and then click Save. And that'll save this. Now, the resolution of this image isn't super high. If you look down here at the bottom, you can see it's 2048 by 2048 pixels. So that resolution isn't terrible. It is fine for social media use. In fact, the Facebook optimum size is 2048 by the long edge, or in this case, the square. So this is fine for social media. But if you want to print this really large, or if you're looking for a high quality stuff for maybe a shirt design or a large banner, I will bring this into Topaz or some other AI upscaling app to make it like a 4K or 8K version. I did notice that on the original, there is some shadow under there. We can add that super easily by using layer styles. So again, I'm going to hide the original, turn on our just temporary black or red background, double click in this empty space to the right of the layer name, and you'll get layer styles. Let's turn on drop shadow. And I don't see anything because my settings are weird. Let's fix this. So we've got the blurry or the size of the shadow, which was actually pretty large. The distance away from it, right? Distance from the surface, I guess, that the shadow's hitting. Opacity, you can even do color. And of course, the angle of the light. It's usually on the top left. I don't know why. Why is light sources always top left in like Windows? It's just a thing. So yeah, if you want to like a nice subtle shadow, that's probably a good setting right there. Looks fine to me. And you can save this as well in your PNG. Look, it's still there. So this is pretty cool. You can just drop this on anything. A YouTube thumbnail, a flyer for church, whatever you're designing in Photoshop, you can drag and drop this image as PNG and it'll keep the shadow because it's saved into the PNG file if you save it that way. You can, of course, just make this black and white, save this as a JPEG, and be done with it. All right, so here is Topaz Gigapixel AI. It's this amazing program. It cost me about $80 or $90 when I got it. Oh, there's an update. I don't want to do that yet. So it's super easy. What you do is you just open your image. This is a black and white version I just made. Remember, the original resolution was 2K, right? 2048 by 2048. I'm going to upscale this to 8,000, like basically an 8K image. And it's updating. I'm using the Art in CG AI model, I think is what it's called. Yeah, right there, AI model. And look at this. This is the before resolution. That's after. Like, wow. Crazy. Now there's a little artifact over here. Oh, I think that's actually some cloud that I didn't erase. I can fix that. Yeah, so that's what professional AI upscaling looks like. There are probably some free websites out there you can upload a single image to and it'll upscale it for you. Or maybe some trials if you really need AI upscale. If you work with low quality images a lot, this is a really good investment to have. So that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. Please subscribe and come back soon.